Hey guys, today I wanted to talk about if Scarlet and Violet sets are investable. Now, what do I mean by investable? So I think everyone can kind of agree that Scarlet and Violet is not as popular as Sword and Shield. For some, it's even a letdown and kind of a downfall in Pokemon, especially after such a great era. And I think a lot of you guys know this because I've said it in my past videos, but I've been more focused on Sword and Shield. I really haven't looked into Scarlet and Violet, so I wasn't really informed on a lot of these sets. So today I took the time to look through all these sets and kind of, look at the cards to see if, these sets are something that you'd want to put your money into. Because, with this, new era coming out, and it being kind of a downfall, a lot of people might be kind of afraid to invest into some of these sets because the box prices are so low, and with people moving out the hobby, you know, are these sets are even going to go up in value? So I kind of wanted to give you guys my opinion on this today and go through all these sets and kind of, give my opinion because I've only invested a little bit of money into Scarlet and Violet. I've been more focused on Sword and Shield, and I kind of wanted to, share you guys my opinion. And honestly, since this was only like the first day I looked at these sets, I'm not really very informed about a lot of these cards, so I won't really know maybe some of the reasons why some of these cards are really expensive or cheap. So I'm just kind of basing my opinions off of the art. So I don't know if a card's expensive because of competitive reasons or art reasons. I'm not really sure, but I'm just kind of giving you guys my side on what I see in these sets. So first, let's talk about Scarlet and Violet base. Now, I didn't really ever look thoroughly through this base set because I kind of just assumed that most of these base sets are pretty boring. I mean, that's kind of a general thing that I think a lot of people know. And this box got all the way down to $75 on eBay. And that's kind of crazy because usually boxes don't go for that cheap, even though if it's not a bad set. But I looked through the card list, and honestly, this set for a base set is not bad at all. It's actually pretty good for a base set. So first here we have the Miriam. Now this Miriam, when it came out, I think it was like $70, $80. I mean, we can check here to see what was at. And this is a really nice card. Honestly, the artwork is really nice, but the price has really dropped. Okay, this doesn't really count, but it was around $75. And you can see that it's just started to decrease. And obviously that's with people opening the product. And obviously this card isn't that hard to pull because it's only $26. And yeah, so you can see with the prices here, it's kind of disappointing that, none of the cards here are really expensive. But looking at the art in here, it's not that bad. And one thing I really like about the set is that it has this kind of cool like evolution thing with Ralts evolving over time with, their, I guess their owner or whatever. And you can see here Ralts is, here and then, evolves into Curlia. You see the girl here has grown up and has a kid, and they just kind of grow up together. I think this is a really nice kind of thing that they added to the set, and I think it increases the value, at least to me. I feel like this is something that people might want to, maybe collect later in the future, because honestly, I really like this. Like, I'd like a set of this and just display it because it's really cool. And honestly, the art in here is also really nice. It's inside the house, and there's some nice things in the background. I think the art is really nice. Other than that, there's really not that much in this set. I mean, there's the Miriam here, and there's a couple, I guess, waifu cards. There's the Professor's Research here. But the other illustration rares, I mean, they're all right. But those are, I feel like, the main things in the set that would, cause the price to go up, and, the chases. So for a base set and to get it for $75, I do think that's actually a pretty good deal. And I do think there are still some cards in here that people are going to want. This is not a total dud set. So I do believe that for $75, I probably should have picked them up. I did not buy any, but they're still only like $80, and I could probably find a case and get them a little bit under $80 a piece. So this probably is going to be a set that I invest into, which is kind of surprising because I really never invest into base sets, but this one's actually pretty good for what it is. I do think this is one of the cases where people, since the box price is so low, people are kind of scared and saying that the set is bad, but later on, when this box price starts to go up, people are going to start to realize that, some of these sets aren't that bad. But I think this base set has potential, especially for the price. Next is Paldea Evolved. Now, Paldea Evolved, I think a lot of people kind of say that this is one of the better sets in Scarlet and Violet. So I looked through the card list, and I think that's very true for a few reasons. One, it has two Iono cards. Now, Iono is pretty popular, and you can see the artwork on this card is really amazing. And there's another one. Obviously, this one's not as good, but still really cool. This Magikarp here, honestly, the artwork to me is just whatever, but I guess it's kind of cool. It's kind of like a, I don't know, like a mural maybe, or I don't even know if that's the right thing to say, but it's kind of cool. But other than that, there's a lot of nice special illustration rares and just regular illustration rares here. So we have Tyranitar, popular Pokemon, Raichu, and a lot of these other, these are like nice arts. This is not like some of the other arts that I'll show you later on that I actually don't really like. I think these are actually really cool. And I feel like there's enough of these like cards where there's like pretty cool artwork that people are going to want to open the set. And it's kind of the same thing with Scarlet and Violet base, where they actually have another one of those like evolution things with the Tandemas. I don't really know if I'm even saying that right, to be honest. Like a lot of these Scarlet and Violet names are kind of weird, but there's these like mice here, and you can see here they kind of have a family. So another one of the things that I really like about the set, and honestly, if you just look through all the cards in the set, there's a lot of cool and really nice, I think, artworks compared to some other ones that I'm going to show you. So I think out of all the sets, this is probably one of the better ones, or maybe the best main set, not including 151, which I'll show you guys later. So I do think for the price that you can get the set, which is $97, you can probably get it cheaper. I think this is still a good pickup. You probably don't have to be, you know, you can probably wait a little bit. I mean, the set is relatively new. So at this price, I mean, you could wait maybe for a deal or something, but I think the set still has potential, even though, you know, obviously Scarlet and Violet is not very popular right now. I think this is one of the better sets that probably will do well in the future. Now next here is Obsidian Flames. Now, if you guys have watched my last video, or last videos, you guys know that I have an Obsidian Flames booster box case. Now, why did I buy this case? Honestly, it was kind of an impulse buy at the time. I only bought it really because of the price for the box, and looking at the set list, I honestly kind of regret it. I honestly didn't really look at the set list when I actually bought the case, and looking at it now, I kind of regret it. So when I said that, you know, that Paldea Evolved had some really nice special illustration rares compared to others, this is what I kind of mean. So this set kind of has nothing except for the Charizards. As you can see here, the top 4 cards are just Charizards. And honestly, to me, I don't really think these artworks are that great. That's just my opinion. I know that might be, you know, a hot take or something. I don't really know. But these artworks to me are not that amazing. It's just kind of boring. It just has some like stars or crystals in the background. And honestly, it just isn't that nice to me. And you can see with the prices, you know, this set is not very popular. And other than these Charizards, if this is the card you're trying to chase, there's not really any other card out there that you're going to really want. Like, these illustration rares, honestly, to me, are kind of like lackluster. I mean, this Cleffa one's kind of cool, but if you look through all of these, it's kind of just not that great. Also, I don't like these new style of EXs, like these like sparkles in the background. I think they're just boring. But other than that, I don't think there's really any card out there in this set that people are going to want in the future. So honestly, I regret buying the case of booster boxes. I honestly would have rather bought Scarlet and Violet base or just Paldea Evolved, because there's really nothing in the set, and I didn't look at it before, so I guess that's kind of lesson learned. Because if people aren't looking for this Charizard, or I guess that's the only chase card, there's really nothing else in the set. So to be honest, this is one of the sets I probably wouldn't recommend really buying, because there's really nothing in here except for the Charizard, which, you know, it could be what, you know, it could be the only reason why that it goes in value. It might go up a lot, but I truly believe that this set is just kind of a dud, and I regret buying it. So yeah, this is definitely the worst set, I think, out of all the ones that I'm going to show you guys today. Next is 151. Now, I don't even think I really have to say much. 151 is just going to be one of those sets that goes up in value, but obviously it is probably going to take some time, because, you know, it's probably going to get overprinted if it already isn't. Yeah, it's just going to take some time. Also, there's no booster boxes, so if you're not really into the whole Elite Trainer box thing, you know that, you know, it's just going to take up more space. So you can decide if you want to invest into this or not, but I definitely am. I haven't yet, but you can just see that these cards are definitely going to do well in the long run. Just, you know, Charizard, Blastoise, Venusaur, you know, the starters, or I guess the evolved versions of the starters. These are just going to do really well over time. Other than that, there's still other artworks that people are going to want other than just those 3. And obviously they have the whole, you know, evolution line of all the starters and everything. And, you know, the artwork is just really nice. Overall, there's just a lot of cards in here that you're going to want. Plus, honestly, I just think the box looks really cool. So this is definitely a product that I'm going to invest into. And I think the set is just going to do well long run. I mean, you can just see that with the pricing of all these cards. I mean, I know right now that there's probably a lot of demand, which is probably driving a lot of these prices up. Well, other than that, I mean, you can see the prices of a lot of these cards. It's pretty high, and there's a lot. So definitely this set is going to do well in the long run. I think there's no doubt about that. Next is the last set is Paradox Rift. Now, I didn't even look into this set really until today like the other ones, but especially this one. I really didn't know what was in here. I did hear from other videos though that this was a better, box or set compared to the other ones. And I looked through it, and honestly, I think Paldea Evolved, in my opinion, is better than this. It's just in terms of artwork. You can't see out of all of them though, this is the most expensive one. So going through this set here, we can see that there are a lot of cards that are pretty expensive. But the most expensive card is this Roaring Moon EX. Now, I don't know if this is like a really popular or really like strong competitive card. I don't play the game, so I don't really know. But the artwork to me is all right. So it must be something with the competitive scene. But if I look at the art and all the like special illustration rares and the regular illustration rares, honestly nothing really stands out to me except for like there's a lot of waifu cards in here. You can see there's Parasol Lady here. There's the Professor Sada's Vitality, if I'm even saying that right. There's the Mela, there's the Tulip, and there's another one. Other than that, I mean, Altaria is, a decent art, I guess. It's pretty nice. Groudon here. I don't really honestly like. I don't like this card. I don't know why it's so expensive, but yeah. I honestly, the art in here is just all right, in my opinion. I don't think there's really that. Other than those cards, there's not really much. I do think that the Paldea Evolved has better illustration rares. I mean, you can see here. Yeah, I just think that these are better. I think people are gonna want these more in terms of just artwork. So I do think that Paldea Evolved is the best set out of all the main sets. But Paradox Rift, looking at it, I don't think this is a bad set compared to Obsidian Flames. I mean, this is way better. But other than that, it's not bad. But in my opinion, it's just not as good as Paldea Evolved. But that's just my opinion. Obviously, I could be wrong, but that's just how I see it. But definitely not a bad set to invest into if you can get a good deal. But for the price it is right now, honestly, I'm going to wait. If I'm going to invest into the set, I'm going to wait, because at $100, I believe it could probably go lower, because especially the set just recently came out. But yeah, overall, I think Scarlet and Violet, it's just one of those times again where Pokemon's kind of just in a little bit of a decline here, and it's not as popular. So box prices are going to decrease, and so are the card prices, and people are just going to kind of panic and see that Pokemon is going down, so these sets aren't investable. But it's just going to take time. So we'll see in the long run how this video, I guess, turns out. Maybe in like a year from now we can visit this video back and see if I was right, or maybe in a few years. I don't know how long this will take, because it's not like Sword and Shield. It's going to take way longer. So definitely people out there are going to see no returns in like 6 months and kind of get out of this hobby, which is perfectly fine. But I think there's still potential. These sets aren't terrible like some people say. I think some of them are actually pretty decent. But yeah, that's just my take on this. So comment below what you guys think about my take. Am I right, or do you guys have a different opinion? Because Scarlet and Violet definitely, when it first came out, I was kind of disappointed. But looking at all these cards, I think there's actually some nice cards in here. So with that being said, hope you guys found this video kind of interesting, and I'll see you guys on the next one.